The Christian world in North America was stunned this month with the news that Jared Wilson, a well-known pastor and mental health advocate in California, had committed suicide. It's a terrible tragedy. It set off many questions and comments among Christians like, how can a Christian leader do that when they've been teaching that Christianity is all about hope? Didn't he have enough faith to just stop thinking that way and snap out of it? Or it must be from a lack of spiritual discipline. You see, our Christian culture expects everyone to be walking in victory all the time. And if you're not, don't let on, or people will assume you're a weak Christian. And if you're feeling depressed or anxious, you may be told to just read the Bible and pray more. And if that doesn't make you feel better, then it's your own fault. And don't take medications. That's turning to the world for an answer to a spiritual problem. Medications are just a crutch and a tool of Satan to control your mind. I had a mental health clinic for 25 years, treating mostly Christians, and I had several of them commit suicide, so I understand these issues. I've heard all these comments and seen the damage they cause to people who are struggling. But here's the root cause of the misunderstanding. Christians often don't realize that depression and anxiety are caused by low serotonin level in the brain. It's usually something you inherit, like short-sightedness, or through no fault of your own. Or it could be triggered by traumatic life events. Serotonin gives you the ability to control your thoughts. So if the level drops, you lose thought control and you can't shut your mind off. And then your thoughts will spiral into directions you don't want but can't stop. In other words, it's not a faith issue. It's a physical problem that causes down, sad, negative, anxious thoughts you can't stop. And when you feel like that, God seems far away, and it's hard to read the Bible or pray. So it feels like a faith issue, but it really isn't. The treatment is a combination of medications to raise the serotonin level, along with counseling for the emotional and spiritual issues. And when the serotonin level is restored, you'll be able to think clearly again. Your mood and faith will return to normal. So don't tell a depressed person to just read the Bible and pray more. It's the same as telling them to go home and get taller. It doesn't work and only makes them feel ashamed and condemned. Now, if you're feeling depressed or anxious, you're not alone. About 20% of the population, and yes, 20% of your church has a low serotonin level and they're struggling with thought control. Now the question is, of course, why do Christians commit suicide? Well, it's because they can't take the pain of the tormenting thoughts any longer. The pain becomes so overwhelming that death seems to be the only way out. See, depression robs them of hope and the ability to think clearly. So suicide is really the fatal result of a disease that has gotten out of control. It's no different than death from cancer that wasn't controllable. But now, does suicide condemn them to hell? Is it the unpardonable sin? Well, does a person who dies from a terminal illness go to hell? Well, of course not. So a person who dies from a brain disorder like depression doesn't either. Depression is not a disease of the spirit. The spirit can be very strong and godly while their mind is weak. So their eternal destiny isn't in question. They still belong to Jesus and He will welcome them home. Now, if you can't shut your mind off and you're struggling with persisting down, sad, negative thoughts, then don't stay that way. Do the self-assessment for depression, anxiety, and mood swings that's on my website, and there's a link below this video that you can click on. And if you see yourself in that checklist, take the list of your symptoms to a doctor to see if you need medications. Also, you must see a Christian counselor or a pastor. Medications alone are not the answer. But God is not punishing you, and He's not angry or disappointed with you. He's walking close beside you, and He hears all your prayers, so don't stop talking to Him, even though He may feel far away. But now I want to hear from you. Have you overcome depression or anxiety with God's help? Just leave your story in the box below so we can all be encouraged. If you'd like to learn more about how to achieve mental, spiritual, and emotional health, then join our Free Your Mind online video program. Through weekly videos and online support, we will walk you through the transformation journey together. Just click on the link below this video for more information, and I'll talk to you again next week.